Hello, everyone. This is Tristan, and today, for the purpose of this assignment, I will be discussing my personal journey towards understanding visual art. So, for me personally, my exposure to visual art happened at quite a young age. Growing up, I was very fascinated by the work of illustrators when it came to children's books. I really wanted to make a book of my own growing up. I liked the idea a lot that anyone at any age could become an author or illustrator. There was no wait time or schooling necessarily that needed to be tied to that type of work. So I set out and I tried to become a famous published author slash illustrator at around 7 years old, give or take. Truthfully, I would only really write a page or two of the book, and then I would give my full attention more so towards the illustrating part. I was very invested in trying to copy the styles of other illustrators that would do work on my favorite books, which I have two of them included here. We have Cirque de Freak, which I was big on around sixth grade, and Diary of a Wimpy Kid, which I was huge on for somewhere between fourth to sixth grade. I would try to mimic the designs of books like these, and I would try to create my own unique work, but still including the styles of these reads. So it was at this stage that I was already early on exploring and even experimenting with the visual arts. Following my attempts at becoming a published illustrator slash author, I would eventually find more exposure to the visual arts when I entered middle school, and I enrolled myself into art classes both my seventh grade and eighth grade years. I figured that I had a bit of a background in art with my early age experiments with illustrating, so I figured I would take these classes. What I didn't realize was how much more there was that went with visual arts outside of sketches and drawings. In these classes, I would do things like still life paintings, or I would attempt to recreate faces of classmates, or I would experiment with recreating three-dimensional shapes or scenes. So there was just so much more that I hadn't known about that was now coming to life in these classes. Key terminologies that I was not familiar with, like textures or perspectives. These were things that I had seen before, but I just wasn't able to identify or give these things names. So this was more of a, okay, I've seen these things before, I've experimented a bit with these things before, but now I'm being walked through these things. I'm being told what they are, what they mean, what they do, what they add to visual art pieces. Those 2 years were really amazing experiences for me because I was just so much more familiar with the arts now, and so many things got cleared up. I felt comfortable talking about art and being able to explain my own personal art that I would continue now with my newly acquired skills from the class. So now going into the present day, I feel like my journey with visual art has continued on, and I feel like a major key to its continuation has definitely been the opportunity to take a few art classes here at Fresno State. With my major being liberal studies, I've been asked to take quite a few different classes linked to the arts overall, but a few specifically that cover visual art, this one included. The one that comes to mind separate from this course is Art 1, which was an introductory level course that discussed art, the history of art, and kind of showed me all these different creations from different cultures and time periods. I felt like I got a great sense of the variety of visual art that is present all across the world. Outside of class, though, interestingly enough, I have a good friend who graduated with a degree pertaining to visual art, and she actually streams herself working on art commissions on a platform called Twitch. And I'll always pop in to say hey in the chat that's available during the stream, and I'll ask questions too to get more insight on what it is I'm watching. So I feel like through that, I've been able to learn more still about certain visual art too. So the journey I'm on is still very much so happening. And that about covers everything as far as the journey I've been on with understanding visual art. I've been very fortunate to have had so much exposure to visual art all my life. It's really a type of art that I've always felt comfortable with, and I look forward to what other experiences I'll have with it. So with that, that will conclude my presentation. And thank you very much.